Hello, and welcome to my presentation on patterns and themes in collaborative change methods. As part of this presentation, I'll be exploring 11 different collaborative change methods and looking for the patterns and themes within them using various methodologies. My name is Jordan Wareham. I'm a doctoral student at Bowling Green State University in the Organization Development and Change program. If you would like to talk more about this presentation, feel free to contact me at my email address, jordan@wareham.me, or give me a call or text at 305-562-8262. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I have certainly experienced that in my professional career. This is an African proverb on our Change 7006 website when it talks about the power of creating change together in groups, especially collaborating with others when you are bringing about that change. I know there have been times when I felt under time pressure and I brought in changes, sometimes major changes, in ways that didn't have buy-in or acceptance from the larger group. That made change hard. Conversely, when I have involved many different individuals and their thoughts and their thinking and their perspectives in change and created that buy-in, I have found that that change has taken root and become sustainable and noteworthy within the organization. In fact, some of the most important change efforts I've ever been a part of, some affecting an entire organization or division, have been a team effort of many individuals who I've relied on to give expertise and perspectives that I myself did not have. So our process began with being assigned 10 different collaborative change methods to study. This included abundant community, appreciative inquiry, art of hosting, collaborative arts, future search, graphic facilitation, liberating structures, open space, tea groups, World Cafe, and we were also asked to select one additional method, which I selected SOAR, which has a lot of commonality with appreciative inquiry, open space, and future search. To explore each one of the collaborative change methods, I used an affinity diagram that was divided into 8 design elements. Invitation is all about why now and why us. Why is it important that this change methodology might be used in this time? Purpose is the purpose that each of the change methodologies serves. Why would I use that particular change methodology in a particular situation? What kind of tool is it in my tool bag? The system is what type of stakeholders should be involved? Or in general, what is the type of system that that change methodology serves? An experience is how we would accomplish the particular change methodology. How does it function? What are the various components? Technology is just that. What do we need to get the job done? Is it just a face-to-face? Is it an environment? Is it a conversation? Or is it more? Does it require a computer application, video conferencing? What is required in order to be able to use or execute the various change methodologies? Evidence is the data or the studies that underpin each one of the change methodologies. How do we know it's successful? It's important that we have data to underpin each one of these things so that we know that we are using a methodology that will be widely successful and also widely accepted. Mastery is how we learn to accomplish each one of the change methodologies. And then there's an other miscellaneous column as well, which I used to accumulate various notes that I found interesting along the way. I use these 8 design elements to further study and extrapolate each one of the change methodologies. For example, I would look for the purpose of each one of these items and look for themes or commonalities that I might find within each change method that would help me understand them not only individually, but then as a whole. The affinity diagram itself is quite large. I used Microsoft Excel, and it is very, very detailed. So I'm unable to provide it inside of the presentation, but if you'd like to see it, you may access the presentation by clicking on the Google Drive link underneath the affinity diagram. After completing the affinity diagram, I was able to really take a step back and look at all the data I had collected using the 8 design elements. What I was able to see was an emerging of patterns and connections and interrelatedness of each of the collaborative change methods, and was able to derive those themes in using a mind mapping exercise. Now, I had never used a mind mapping exercise before, and it seemed a little intimidating, but I really did begin to appreciate this exercise, especially as a visual and tactile learning oriented person. I really appreciated being able to allow my mind to explore and wander through each of the collaborative change methods to look at how they might be connected and have interrelationships. And you can see over on the right side, these are some of the connections that I had found. Hospitality, interpersonal communication, theme collection, sensory participation, power of the positive, complexity, simplicity. You can see that I've got quite an extensive list that has themes. Those were the first branches that I was able to find. And then, in some cases, those branches go even further. For example, in creativity and expression, what kind of creativity and expression? If it supports learning, what type of learning does it support? And then ultimately, on the far extremes of all of those branches are the methods themselves that show which ones would be grouped into that particular category. So in a way, this is also a type of an affinity diagram, but it very easily and visually shows you what is in common. This is a great exercise to do with large groups when you're looking for themes and also looking to see how various types of concepts are interrelated. I should also mention that if you'd like to see the full detail of the mind map, you can click on that Google Drive link below and it will take you there so that you can see the PDF. I know it's hard to see on the screen, but it's so big I had to condense it down. So if you'd like to see it, go ahead and click on that link. The beauty of the mind map for me was I was able to really take a step back and consider what is it that the mind map is showing me? What are all the connections? How are all of these change methodologies interrelated? What do they have in common? And as I was able to see 5 big themes that each one of these change methodologies have in common. First, they connect. They bring people together to envision and imagine the future in a way that harnesses the power of positivity and optimism. Without exception, every single one of those change methodologies bring people together. 2, they allow us to consider. They bring deep whole system thinking, and they inspire holistic understanding of complex and multifaceted challenges and opportunities. They force us to really wrestle with those issues and understand all of the parts and have all the players in the room so we can understand everybody's perspective. Again, without exception, they help us do that. They also call for contribution. This is not just where individuals come and watch. Anyone who is a part of these change methodologies is asked to participate, because inside of these methodologies we ask salient questions, and we also know that the answer lies within the collective wisdom and experience of the group. And so it is critical to get that participation from everyone that is present. They also help us clarify or bring clarity. They support our ability to identify needs, explore solutions, and remove barriers in support of accomplishing whatever we desire to achieve. And finally, they help us create. They bring people together to leverage all of our gifts to create the opportunities, to create the solutions, to create the outcomes that we are looking to achieve in order to solve the real problems and create sustainable change moving forward. So the last part of our presentation is asking us to perform an after-action debrief, and it asks 3 critical questions. What did I plan to do, or what were my intentions? What did I actually do, and what happened? And what did I learn, and how am I different? So we'll start with the first one. What did I plan to do? Well, I plan to set out to know more about each one of these collaborative change methods. What actually did happen, or what did I actually do? I would say I took a very deep dive into each one of these collaborative change methods and learned extensively about them, and also made some notes for myself as I look to incorporate them into my change practice going forward. And what did I learn? How am I different? Well, I think I've been exposed to a lot of tremendous methods. I've gained awareness, and I understand which methods I want to go back and learn more of, and which ones might be most effective in incorporating into my professional practice moving forwards. I want to end with this quote by Jim Rohn. I really liked it. Your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. And if we look back at what these collaborative change methods meant to us, then we can say it not only gets better by change, it gets better by involving others in that change, because together we can achieve more. Thanks for listening to my presentation, and I hope to hear from you and continue the conversation.